The 7 wonders of the natural world may have been named too quickly. Destinations like the Grand Canyon and Victoria Falls are certainly big, and anyone who sees them will surely be impressed, but sheer size isn't enough to truly leave a person in awe. There are other places in this world, though, that are very special and unique. Places that seem almost alien, as if they could only exist on another planet. These are places that scientists struggle to understand how they ever could have been formed. Places that will truly make you wonder, not just because they're beautiful, but because they seem to follow scientific laws that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. Are you ready? It's time to enter the Zen Zone and discover 10 places on Earth that seem impossible to believe according to modern science. At number 10. Shanay, Timpishka, the boiling river. Deep in the Amazon lies a river 4 miles long and unlike any other on Earth. The Shanay Timpishka is so hot that any animal that steps into it gets boiled alive. When a hapless creature wanders in, their eyes cook first, melting in its skull. Soon the animal is in too much pain to keep swimming to safety. Water fills its mouth and lungs, and it is cooked from the inside out. The river gets as hot as 91 degrees Celsius, and scientists aren't completely sure why. Normally, water that gets this hot is fed by a volcano, but the closest one to this river is 435 miles away. There is a theory, though. Scientists believe that boiling hot water from under the earth cracks through fault lines and heats up the river, making the water a geothermal system unlike any other on the Earth. At number 9. Movile Cave, the cave with an atmosphere of sulfur. In southeastern Romania, there is a cave that was locked away from the slightest ray of light for 5.5 million years, and that has a completely different atmosphere from any other place on Earth. The cave was discovered by workers looking to set up a power plant in the area. They tested the ground to see if it was a safe place to build and cracked open a pathway that leads into one of the strangest places on Earth. If you descend through the narrow shaft and past a series of tunnels, you enter a chamber with a lake of sulfuric water smelling like rotting eggs. The air there is toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide and contaminated with 100 times the surface's levels of carbon dioxide. At number 8. The Petrifying Well, where water turns things to stone. In Knaresborough in North Yorkshire is a well that seems like something ripped out of a story by H.P. Lovecraft. It's a place where water trickles down a cliff side that looks like a skeleton's grinning face, and where anything you place under the water will turn into stone. The process usually takes 3 to 5 months, but you can leave anything you own under the trickling water and, when you return, it will be stone. People have left everything from teddy bears to bicycles there, and every item has been transformed into a statue. For a long time, people believed that the well was cursed by a witch. At number 7. Lake Karachay, the most radioactive lake on Earth. Inside of what was once a Soviet Union nuclear weapon factory is a lake pumped full of more radioactive material than anything else on Earth. Lake Karachay is so radioactive that if you stand near it for an hour it will kill you. The lake was used by the Soviet Union to dump nuclear waste. They poured obscene amounts into it, and it caused major problems. In 1957, an explosion in the factory spread the radioactive particles in the lake around a 14.5-mile area. Then in 1967, the waters dried up and the radioactive dust was blown a further 900 miles away. Today, the water is mostly covered up with concrete to keep these disasters from happening again. The area is still so toxic that it makes Chernobyl look like a trip to Disneyland. At number 6. Gruner See, the park that goes underwater every spring. In Austria, there's a park with beautiful hiking trails and benches you can jog through any autumn morning. If you visit in the spring, though, it's a little different. In fact, you'll need scuba gear. The park is near the Hokkaido mountains, which get completely covered with snow in the winter. There's so much snow on the mountains that, when it melts, the park's lake doubles in size and drowns the park. If you swim through it in the spring, you'll see benches and bridges under the water. Even some of the alpine flowers, which normally only survive above the surface, will bloom under the water. Then, midway through the summer, the water starts to recede and the park emerges from underneath. At number 5. The Doubletree of Casorzo. In the countryside of Piemonte, Italy, there is an unusual sight. There is a cherry tree there that looks just like any other healthy cherry tree except that it happens to be growing directly on top of a mulberry tree. This isn't completely unprecedented. Parasitic trees have grown out of others before, but normally they are small, stunted things that live short lives before falling off. The Doubletree of Casorzo, though, consists of 2 fully formed, healthy trees, each spreading its branches 5 meters across. Nobody quite knows how it happened. At number 4. The Beacon of Marcaibo, the never-ending lightning storm. In western Venezuela over the Catatumbo River, there is a storm that never ceases. Starting at 7 p.m., lightning crashes over the water for 10 hours every night, 260 nights each year. Nobody knows for sure why it happens. Up until recently, the leading theory was that it had something to do with uranium in the bedrock, although scientists are starting to doubt it. Today, the leading theory is a complicated one. The hypothesis is that the shape of the mountains causes warm trade winds to collide with cold air from the Andes. That collision is then fueled by the rapidly evaporating water below and methane from a nearby oil field. At number 3. The Blue Pond of Hokkaido, the Kool-Aid-colored lake. On the Japanese island of Hokkaido there is a lake that's unlike any other in the world. The water is a unique, electric shade of blue that shimmers and changes its shade when you look at it from different angles. As the seasons change, the water changes color even more, shifting through shades of blue and green. The lake was actually man-made. The locals set up a dam in the area in 1988, and set up a reservoir where the water blocked by the dam could collect. To their surprise, though, the water it collected changed color. Scientists believe that the water's strange color comes from aluminium hydroxide particles that have mixed in with it. The particles reflect blue light unusually well, making its reflection of the sky above far more vivid than any body of water anywhere else on Earth. At number 2. The Ringing Rocks of Pennsylvania. At the top of a hill in Pennsylvania, there is a field full of strange rocks and nobody knows where they came from. There is no higher cliffside nearby, so they couldn't have fallen through a landslide, and the natives that knew about it before European settlers arrived believed it to be a natural phenomenon. The rocks being there is hardly the strangest part, though. Instead, that honor goes to the sound they make when you hit them. When they are struck, a chiming ring that sounds almost like the cymbal on a drum kit. There are many theories, but we aren't completely sure why they make this strange noise. One investigating team, though, found out that they're making it on their own. When you hit a single rock, it lets out a low-frequency tone that can't be heard by human ears. When you put them together, the tones interact and make the sounds that we actually hear. At number 1. Kawah Ijen, the volcano with blue lava. In Indonesia, there is a sulfur mine built into a volcano, and when the workers enter it at night they turn off their lights. They don't need them because their way is lit by the strange, glowing blue liquid trickling down the side like lava. Kawah Ijen is often described as the volcano with blue lava, although scientists now know the blue trickle isn't really lava, it's sulfur. Sulfuric gases inside heat up and burst out of it, shooting blue flames up to 5 meters into the air. The gases then condense into liquid sulfur, which spills down the mountain slopes, looking like flowing neon blue lava. All the sulfur in the air makes it toxic, and researchers and photographers who visit it have to wear gas masks to stay safe. The workers in the mine do not wear masks and suffer through the unbreathable air, while they work in the light of a pale blue glow even though it's slowly killing them. These are our top 10 picks. What do you think? Did we miss any of your favorites? Any top 10 list you'd like to see? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoy this kind of content, do me a favor and like the video, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay tuned for our latest videos. It really helps us spread the Zen and grow the channel. If you like what we do here at Top 10 Zen, or you like cool clothing and gear, you should check out top10zen.store on a regular basis, to see what new stuff just dropped. We have really awesome gear, shirts, hats and all kinds of cool items to grab for yourself or to give as a gift. We have an amazing lineup of merch inspired by the power of Zen, so check it all out at top10zen.store. You'll be helping out our channel directly while also earning major Zen points. Thanks for watching. See you soon.